Hello everyone, UXWB's mom here, and it's Thanksgiving time. A wonderful time to celebrate good food, family, and friends. And I'm here tonight to show you how to make one of my favorites, a traditional Thanksgiving relish, cranberry orange relish. And what we have here in preparation is we have 10 navel oranges, and I don't know how much the bag weighed, but there are 10 here. And since we're going to be using the rind of the orange, I did hand wash every one of the oranges with soap and water, because we don't know what that skin or rind would have been treated with, and we want to make sure that it's clean and safe to eat. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to cut both ends off the orange. So we're going to be getting rid of the navel. It's kind of tough and pithy, and we're going to be getting rid of the stem end. And the first thing that I'm going to do, I guess I could enlist the help of the key keeper here. Hi, key keeper.
Peace out.
I am going to take my orange, and UXW Bill, can you see this?
Oh yes.
I am cutting my orange into some segments with the rind and everything, and then of course what I might do is maybe take out some of that pithy center, and then I'm just going to drop them in to the food processor. I want to make sure that if there's a pithy area like where that navel was, so there's a lot of white there, I'll cut that out. And if I see any seeds, although navel oranges aren't supposed to have seeds, we'll put that in there too. Alright, so we'll prep up a couple of oranges and we'll run them through the food processor. These are quite juicy and fragrant. So I'm just randomly chunking them up, and we'll inspect them, drop them in the food processor. Now, if you don't own a food processor, you could use a blender. Alright, so the question is, how many oranges fit in a food processor? What do you think, UXW Bill?
I would say 8 oranges might fit in there. That's just a guess, though.
I'm not going to put them all in at once. Okay? So I cut the butt ends off the orange, quarter it, eighth it, inspect the pieces, and drop them in. So right now there are a total of 3 oranges in the food processor.
That last one was a pretty big chunk.
Yep. Alright, so we're going to pulse this until it's chopped up real fine. We've got the meat chopping blade in the food processor. Do you need to get a closer look at this? No,
I've got a good close-up right now.
Do you want to see what it looks like with the lid off?
In a minute, maybe, when we're done.
You can see it is just really chopping. Ooh. Making a nice orange pulpy slurry. And if you were here, you would smell how wonderful it smells. So take a look at that, UXW Bill. And you can see how the food processor really finely chopped that up. Alright, so that's the orange part. So we will repeat this process. So in case you're wondering, well, what is the correct ratio of oranges to cranberries? It's pretty much your own personal choice. I have 10 oranges and a bag of cranberries, so that's probably going to be my ratio. Alright, we'll put our lid back, we'll put our mixing bowl back on. You want to really be careful with this blade because it is just like a razor. Alright. So we'll just repeat the process of cutting the ends off the orange. And then we're just going to chunk it up, halves, quarters. All right. These are a little bigger pieces, but we'll just drop them in. We can go ahead and put our lid on. Take our plunger out. All right. Now the only drawback to this recipe is it does require a lot of sugar, but you can freeze it. If you make a really large batch, you can put it in the freezer in containers, and it will keep in your refrigerator for, I would say, easily 3 to 4 weeks. Oh, we had a runaway quarter there. We'll grab him back there. Okay. So it's got excellent keeping quality, probably because of the sugar. And it's probably the kind of thing that improves with flavor as the oranges and the cranberry flavors mingle and blend. All right, this is just a juicy, juicy orange. Okay, so let's see. If we started out with 10, we've got 4 left, so there must be 3 in there. All right, blast away. I always loved this relish, and I think that it dates back to when I was in kindergarten. We made this in kindergarten class, and I just thought it was the most wonderful thing then. Of course, back then we would have used a hand grinder that would have clamped on the side of the table, and everyone got to take a turn grinding. All right, so what I'm going to do at this point, I have this much ground orange. And I'm thinking I used 6 oranges. That might be all I want to use. So I'll go ahead and do the cranberries next and see how that mixes together. All right, this is a bag of cranberries I bought at the grocery store. Fresh cranberries. And I did rinse them real well in water and inspected them to make sure that there weren't any bad ones or mushy ones or anything like that. So we will pour them in. There we go, a beautiful shade of red. Rock and roll! That was easy. Quick and easy. All right. The wonders of a food processor. Look how nicely and quickly those ground up.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Very nice. And very colorful, too, so that will be a nice colorful addition. All right, so 1 bag of fresh cranberries, and they are in season and easy to get at the store right now. So you definitely need a food processor or a grater. Well, I don't know if a grater would work well. A food processor or a blender. So I don't think a grater would work. All right, so we'll stir this together. We'll bring this over here so you can see what it looks like. So, and if it looks like we have a nice ratio of and I think we do. I think we have a good ratio here of cranberry to orange. Maybe even have a little more orange than than necessary because color-wise it's a lot more orange than it is cranberry-ish. But if I felt that strongly about it, I could always just go buy another bag of cranberries. And, all right. So here you have it. It'll draw a little liquid overnight if I refrigerate it overnight and make a nice, delicious relish for Thanksgiving. Smells good. Oops. Oh well. All right. Oops, I'm not a very good stirrer here. All right, so that looks great, all chopped up, nice and uniform. I don't see any big whole chunks that might have passed through, and I'm kind of spilling it over the sides of the bowl. Well, there's a piece of orange rind right here. Okay, always a good idea to make a little inspection. There's a little chunk. We'll take him out. Okay, everything else looks very nicely ground to a nice uniform, coarse consistency, pretty color. And of course, if you had more cranberries, it would be more red. Now, the only other thing that's left to do to make your relish complete is to add sugar to taste. And I'm going to put a little sugar in it today, and then tomorrow, after it's sat in the refrigerator and the flavors have drawn a little bit, I'll stir it up and add a little bit more sugar to taste. So I won't really be able to tell how sweet I want it until it's been in the refrigerator for a day or so. All right, here you have fresh cranberry orange relish, just in time for Thanksgiving. So here we've added the sugar, and we actually have put quite a bit of sugar in, maybe even as much as 2 cups, but it is a relish, and the sugar makes it much more liquidy, and we'll make it kind of draw a liquid. We'll put this in the refrigerator overnight, and the sugar will absorb, and it's got a wonderful aroma and a wonderful taste, and this is your cranberry orange relish for Thanksgiving Day.
Thank you for watching, and feel free to leave a comment.